I
Well, I
missed it.
think no, today's my birthday. Today's the birthday,
Oh, today's your birthday.
and I think we're
Oh,
in now.
all
Thank
right.
goodness. Everything's working.
All right. Good
Um,
deal.
Thanks for waiting, guys. Um, Great to be here. Really great to be here, actually. Uh, you know, I never, when I was much younger, I never thought what it would be like after in the 20s, after 2000. You know,
Yeah.
I always thought at when I was a kid, I thought that's a place that's so far away that I'm just not even going to think about it. And I got into the habit, and then I got busy, and one day I woke up and said, "Holy shit!" Uh,
Okay. Why don't I have the
I'm,
chat room
why don't you have the chat, rich chat room?
on the side? There's supposed to be comments where I can chat.
Well, okay, let's see.
I don't see
Back
them
out of
now.
that. Go uh, top right, click, or kind of the top right, click comments.
I have comments highlighted, and I see the StreamYard example of a chat message, but there's no chat
Uh,
line on the bottom, unless it's my Zoom. Oh, there we
Here
go.
it is. Now it's working. Hey, this is new
But now
platform.
where's the chat line?
You're a
Hold on,
bunch.
there's
You're a bunch of. We're but you might have to scroll down or resize your.
resize my screen. That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna do.
That's what I would have done. So here we are on my birthday, February 8th, 2022, and I just never. I just can't get over that in a way. You know,
Hmm.
uh, what the hell happened? I'm an old fuck now. Chat. Hi, Yuki. Glad
Yeah, and
you.
I still don't have the
I
live chat
know.
line.
It's terrible.
I don't have the live
We're
chat.
working on this. The background is a mess, and
Yeah. How does Charles change his
I,
background on it?
yeah. Who's the expert?
Bobby's pretty good at it.
Ah,
Okay, and then Oopie's.
Yuki's
Uh,
in twice.
there she is.
Thank you, Yuki. I very much appreciated your little birthday card that you sent me. I like that a lot.
Uh,
Um, been a
so now
joy.
you were talking about how you cannot.
It's just I don't feel like I'm
Right.
pushing 70. I don't feel any different than I was when I was 30. I
Well, do you remember when you were? Do you remember when you were younger? Let's see. That was when were you born then? If you're 68,
54.
okay.
I
So
was
now, did
I was
you
6
ever
years old when
remember
you were born in 60?
61?
61. Okay, so I was 7 years
Yeah.
old when you were born.
So did you ever think about when you were growing up and like 1960 came along, 1970 came along, 1980 came along, and you think, man, I wonder what the 70s are going to be like. What are the 80s going to be like?
I really didn't
Oh,
so
okay.
much because all I can remember is in grade school hiding under the desk,
Right.
fucking missiles, waiting for the missiles to land. You know, when you're looking at the future, uh, 20 minutes at a time. That's the period of time between the detection of launch and the time they start detonating.
Hmm.
Yeah, you take that in as a part of yourself. I think that's something that our generation was imprinted with, and yeah, that's no, I didn't really. I did, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was maybe that's my affliction there. But anyway,
Okay.
um, I guess that's where I started today. And by the way,
Interesting.
Maria is busy. She's has had a previous engagement, and I hope she's taking the day off. So I grabbed Ron and brought him in. Said,
I know
"Come on, Ron,
Maria looks better than I do. Maria looks better than I do. Heck, Goofy would probably look better than me.
Sorry, folks. If you're here for the beauty, this is the best I could do under relatively short notice.
I've been,
we'll have to get Ron a new avatar to put up on the screen, you know?
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, it was, that was, I don't know. See, you were a little older. I think that kind of civil defense thing, which was absolutely worthless, kind of fell out of fashion through the middle 60s. I think that was, I don't know, maybe they decided that it was too disruptive and messed with people's minds and that kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, you realize, you remember, you may not even know, but the interstate highway system, that was one of the hallmarks of the interstate highway system, was the fact that originally in the plan, all the off-ramps were supposed to be nuclear shelters.
Mm-hmm.
You think of the good grief, thousands and thousands of miles of on-ramps and off-ramps and all that sort of thing. Those were originally designed around the idea of having basically urban and suburban hideaways from the atomic bombs. Somewhere along the line they decided, well, fuck these people, they're not worth saving, so we'll just go ahead and build the roads because we got to make money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was, and that was part of what I was thinking about coming up on this was, the different ways of looking at things. I mean, I don't know. We make the future one moment at a time,
Yeah.
When I was a kid, when I learned to read, I went kind of all out for science. I was reading science textbooks when I was in the second grade, high school science textbooks, by the way. And I wanted to know everything. I wanted to know everything there was to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I still do. I'm still working on it, one day at a time, one page at a time, one idea at a time.
Oh yeah.
A recent meme read, if you see a bright flash, it's too late. Don't run, drop, lay flat on the ground and suck your thumb. Yes, pretty much. Yeah. If you do, the other part of that is if you see a bright flash, it'll probably be the last thing you ever see. That was. That was an interesting interlude in our civilization, I guess. But somewhere along the line in my reading, I discovered science fiction, which has been my addiction.
Tom said it.
All the way through. Yeah.
Kiss your ass goodbye.
Yes. Assume the position.
Yeah.
When we had those little exercises, It was a different time. You know,
Oh yeah.
all the birds were dying. The fish weren't safe to eat. Evil communists from Cuba or East Asia or wherever were going to invade and steal all our stuff. I have no idea what stuff I had in the shack I lived on a river in central West Virginia that they might want. The future was constrained to 20-minute segments. That was the length of time between detection and detonation of civilization as we knew it. My glimpse of a better world and a real future was written in the skies above my head. Giant aircraft flew overhead, barely visible. Astronauts were my heroes. The Mercury 7 were the best and most historic group of Americans ever selected to lead the way to the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime around the second grade, I discovered books. Science captured me. Anything with an ology got my attention, but physics was my niche. Understanding the how and why of the universe. Then I discovered science fiction. Libraries. And it became a weekly search. All the varied proposals, all the varied futures that were proposed in science fiction, from the destruction of civilization in Alas Babylon to a galactic civilization in Asimov's Foundation. Everywhere from the green jungles of Venus.
Hey, now that we got this running, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to close out this studio and come back. See
Okay.
if that helps the chat issue. I still don't have a comment line. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm still trying to figure out why it's not working.
Your
Hey,
chat isn't. You just came through with the chat a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, from the Facebook side.
Oh, okay.
But not from the YouTube side. I can read them here, but I can't comment here, so it's kind of irritating. I'm going to see if resetting it will work.
I can do here to.
I don't know.
Do that.
Do you see my
Okay, edit name. I can throw you out.
No.
How about if I throw you out and bring you back?
Well, I was going to leave the studio and come back anyway.
Okay.
But I'll be right back.
Okay. I will catch you. Now back on previously scheduled programming. Among the books I read was the destruction of human civilization in books like Alas Babylon, and all the way up to a galactic civilization in Asimov's Foundation series. From the green sodden jungles of Venus with dinosaurs to playing hide and seek from an enemy battleship in a spacesuit on Deimos, discovering other life and even intelligences throughout the galaxy. Those futures were amazing places. Yes, Tom, gotcha. Now it's apparently working. Those futures were amazing places filled with hope. I was hooked. I probably read around 3,000 novels, and something like 10,000 short stories later. And these are the places that calm my mind. Those possible futures seem so much less certain now than they did then, except for the nastiest ones, where the survival of the human race is. Bringing Ron back. Where the survival of the human race itself is uncertain.
Okay, that didn't help.
But the future is not a place. It's not a solid, unchangeable, inevitable fate. The future is created by us one moment at a time. The choice is ours. We build it together. And that's pretty much the way I look at the future now. I don't know. Don't seem to look as far ahead. I'm kind of looking forward to the next big solar eclipse taking a pass across the center of America. Well, it won't be too far away from me. I think it is April 25, and I could be wrong, but that's my memory right at this moment.
Yeah. I'm checking with StreamYard why I cannot see the chat line. That's what that ding is about. So sorry about that.
Okay.
They said, "Great question."
You didn't have great question. Okay. The chat was hidden. I can read this again. Yeah, down. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, you need to enable me to see it. Apparently, there's something on your end.
Enable you.
Yeah, you have to look at it.
Okay, let me try this. Try this again. I can't do that. Okay. Try this layout. That's not going to change your.
No, that's not going to change the chat window.
Okay. I'm going to turn comments off. I can't turn comments off.
Well, you have full control, so you should be able to
try something. Can't post comments. Some days are in to learn more. Post a comment, chat. I'm looking to see if there's anything down below, but nothing comes up. So, okay.
Yeah.
Stop cam, mic share, invite, share. And I don't know whether that's going to do anything. Nope, that's not it.
Okay, how do I do? I'm going to ask them how to do that.
Close. I can't seem to. We've always had it before. I don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't have it. No, exactly. I don't know.
But anyway, well, if you can keep access.
I'm getting the.
Keep an eye on the Facebook side of things for us.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been a personal addiction of mine to science fiction. I don't think there's. The only thing is, I would say the last 20 years, the quality of science fiction that's available, it's not a completely lost genre, but it has. I don't know. It isn't what it was for me anyway. And a lot of that has to do, I think, with I'm going to blame Amazon because the big publishers that handled those genres just don't publish anything anymore. Everything's gone to straight to Amazon or straight to minor publishers. There are hundreds, and it's hard to keep up with the good stuff. Yes. I see. That's the problem between science. Yufi's question was: the more the reader knows about science, the harder it is to suspend disbelief when reading science fiction.
Yeah.
Unless the author knows science too. Yes. A favorite author of mine, I think his name was Fred Saberhagen, was kind of famous for saying, 90% of science fiction is junk, but then 90% of everything is junk. So it means something when you find something that you don't have to tweak your disbelief too much to keep in the story. I'm particularly enamored these days with a series that just finished. I've talked to it before. Yes, Asimov was one of the greats. And he was a scientist. He was a biochemist, in fact. Clark, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, he was involved in the early World War II radar programs. But I'm exactly what his he didn't have a, I don't think he ever had a doctorate. Now I may be confusing Clark with Heinlein, who was another one for great hard science fiction. But I was having a kind of a conversation on Facebook. Someone was talking about the book burning, book burning, that the fundamentalists, whatever you want to call them, the American Taliban, are banning. Oh, I'm going to do that now. It starts with B. Bradbury are wanting to ban Bradbury's books, or a few of Bradbury's books. Probably the fireman, Fahrenheit 451. That's been done in the movies a couple of times, and it's kind of indicative of what we're, well, you can't put any dystopian novels out. That might scare people. It might make them uncomfortable. You can't talk about if you can't, good grief, if you can't talk about race, you can't, how are you going to talk about aliens? How are you going to talk about places that we can only imagine? I mean, that was one of the great things about science fiction, was to use it as a tool to speculate and to stand the place of the things that were happening in such a fashion as to give us another viewpoint of it.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the Star Trek, original Star Trek particularly, their episodes were about social commentary. There were commentaries about things. There were commentaries about destroying civilizations. There were commentaries about what our role was. That was the prime directive, where just because we could travel to other worlds and held a great technological advantage of them, did not give us the God-given right to manage, destroy, curate, color other civilizations. I think there's a guilt there in that. I think we're trying to regain some semblance of that now. We're a little more willing to look at other civilizations as a creative aspect of humanity, to look at the way that other people may have done something different in a different fashion, and without claiming that it is automatically bad because it's not our idea. Those are things that have been presented in the science fiction trope for a long time, and I think it's something we need more of now. So, and those dreams of other places have an integral part in creating our future. You know, it's what we speculate. It's why I think the UFO thing interests me so much.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay, apparently I am disabled in the comment section for some reason.
you must have been seeing some bad. Maybe are they affiliated with YouTube
But
or
you can,
Facebook?
you can, you can go to the settings on the commenting section. I just sent you.
I think I hate to say this, but I think you were wrong. Since the first real science fiction movie was Fritz Lang's Metropolis. I think The First Men in the Moon was earlier.
Interesting.
Because it was, that was early. That was very early. You'll have to check me. Because Metropolis was really an extensive piece. The First Men in the Moon was like a one reel. You know, it was smaller, but I mean, it was purely science fiction, and it even had a bit of a a few comedy shots in it. So I'm trying to, I can't, I am not an expert on science fiction movies whatsoever. There are so few that I have. I mean, the science fiction element is so often mixed up into the horror element that I did a lot of the movies that are marketed as science fiction just don't qualify under my fundamentalist rules. Okay. Are you? I I can't remember. Oh gosh, it was a. I can't remember. I'll have to. That was a. I don't even think. I don't know if there's a full copy of that anywhere. I keep thinking that was a Hungarian word. It's the title. Oh, might have been. Just cannot remember. Anyway.
Well, Haida Gigas and Justin is in here.
I'm glad to see a lot of people here.
I still cannot.
But anyway, the one that I have entirely enamored with just lately is The Expanse. It's just finished. Oh, it's not a senior moment. That's way down in the weeds to remember that one. But it's in there. I know it's in there. I just can't pull it. It's not on the top of the database. When somebody finds it, or I find it later, I'll say, "Oh yeah, that was it." Yeah, I'm allowed senior moments.
See, it's funny you should mention that we've been to the moon before the actual '69 date. I believe that we've been continuing to go to the moon even after they said we have stopped.
Where's your evidence, Ron?
Huh?
Where's your evidence?
I don't need any evidence. Think of how many personal rocket trips have been launched in the recent 10 years. All right.
Hmm.
And not to mention the NASA launches that have been launched that we don't even know about. Okay. There is stuff that we don't even know about.
Mm.
All right.
Well, I would like to think that there's okay. I have another scene. Catherine Austin Fitz. Do you know who she is?
The
She's
female
an
pilot.
accountant. She was an accountant. She was the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under
Oh, I thought my answer
under
was better.
Reagan,
My answer was better
and
though.
she's has come out talking about the black budget. Yes, Catherine Austin Fitz.
I thought you were trying to say the female
Sarah,
pilot in Russia.
R Russum's Universal Robots. Thank you, Yuffie. I knew you'd find it for me. Um, she has documented, and it has been independently verified that over the past 40 years and maybe less, some incredible 20 billion, oh, excuse me, over $20 trillion
Hmm.
has disappeared. I'd like to think it's going into something. The only, and the speculation is that it has gone into the creation and development of a secret space program. That's evidence, but it's just the on the ground evidence, that it's like the military. It's like military expenditures. Okay, no matter how far, no matter what you do with the money, you have to spend it somewhere. Okay, you build. Someone has to build a rifle. Someone
Right.
has to melt the steel. Someone has to, put together the electronics. All these things would show up if it existed, unless it's as an entirely self-contained off-world civilization, which I just have a hard time. I just have a hard time with that. Yes, exactly. Well, look, I'm as far as 175,000 for a micro drone. Yes, those sorts of things. Those sorts of things are terrible. But
Hmm.
one of the things about that, look, I'm totally shocked that they want to spend, I don't know what's it up to now, $10 million for a megawatt windmill, a 300-foot tall windmill. They
Oh
want
yeah.
$10 million or 10. Yes, it's 10 mil over $10 million a unit for those.
Wow.
When the truth of it is, one of my many adventures in the world, my brother and I were moving locomotive components around, and
Hey,
the
Rockstar. Rockstar here.
one of the main components in a locomotive is a giant-sized electric engine. They have diesel. They're run by diesel. They're a hybrid, almost like a Prius. They have a diesel. They have a diesel engine that runs through an alternator that creates electricity, and those electric motors are extremely powerful
Oh yeah.
and long lasting, and they only cost about $100,000 a piece, and they
Yeah,
can
I
be
don't remember the
rebuilt.
size.
And they could rebuilt about, and that is the heart of a windmill.
Hmm.
Okay,
Well, yeah.
that
And
same
I was
piece
gonna
of
say the
equipment.
ships, the Navy ships. I was on one, and
Yes,
we had
absolutely.
twin engines,
Yep,
and they were diesel engines, and they created, of course, uh, electricity for the ship, obviously.
yep.
And I don't know how much they were priced at.
Did you
I'm
see?
not.
Did you see? You have actually seen those motors?
I did, yeah. When I used to
And
go
they're
around,
probably what? 8, 10 feet tall.
Yeah, they're
Not
well.
not the not oh not the diesels. The diesel motors for those for a ship are more like 15 to 20 feet tall and
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah, and
40,
it
50
was
feet
twin.
long.
We had twin screws or
Yep,
twin shafts. Okay,
yep,
and that enabled us to have better control to turn, of course.
sure.
And um, I would have to look at the specs on the ship again. It's been a long time since I looked at it, but when I went down there before they had anything to know about hearing issues, right? The diesel
Oh yeah,
engines would cause a high pitched humming noise.
yes,
Okay, and
yes.
what happens if you were in there for a few minutes? I was not an engineer. I was
Mm-hmm.
a quartermaster in navigation, but I had to go down there to wind the clocks. Now it
Okay.
didn't take me 15 minutes, but when you did that once a day, that adds up
Mm-hmm.
over time. And at that time they
Well,
didn't have
those were in the days before such things as earmuffs, ear protection.
yeah
Only
for
a
that.
only a,
Yeah,
only a wuss would use those anyway.
right. Now on the flight deck you had to have ear protectors,
Yes,
okay, because
yes.
of the engines of the helicopter and Harrier jet occasionally that we have land on our
Mm-hmm.
deck. You know that was pretty loud. So, but yeah, so the flight deck always had to have ear protection, but in the engine room they didn't really enforce it. Now they guess they would because
Oh, gee, I hope so.
the advancement of the hearing loss of Navy personnel. You know that if you didn't take care of it correctly, then you have hearing issues like I have now. But
Yes. Well,
uh,
I can just blame mine on 20 years in the machine shop.
there you go. Yeah, and
And
not thinking it
20,
was
20
bothering
years in the
you.
machine shop in a steel mill.
Yeah, and at the moment it wasn't bothering you, and you didn't think anything of it. But now, at well, you said 68 years old, right? Now it's a little bit
Yes.
different. Now it's like,
Well, yeah, and when I see someone use it doing those things that I did and thought I could get away with it, I jump on them pretty heavy
yeah,
because you can't, the, your hearing is something that, and your eyesight.
hmm
Put your damn safety glasses on. Believe me,
yeah.
they work. They work. You know. Um,
Especially if you're grinding metal and you got metal flakes coming off, you
oh
might
yeah.
you
Yep.
might want to wear the hearing protection and eye protection because
Yes.
and gloves.
And don't breathe all that stuff that you're.
Right, exactly.
Because, like I think I said this on a show before. Some of the things that we used every day. You know, we used to use trichloroethane as a cleaning solution. Just buckets of it. You know,
One
and
day I
that
had to
stuff
clean.
that stuff would take the paint.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
One day at the Pizza Hut in North Carolina, I worked there for nine
Of
years,
course, of
and
course, they found out. I bet they could clean kitchen equipment really, really good with that stuff.
oh yeah, I had mixed. They say on the bottle don't mix chemicals together. Well, I ignored that label, and I mixed like three or four different cleaning solutions together, including bleach, which basically I created a bomb, if you want to think of it like
or
that.
either that or chlorine gas.
Yeah, and
That was
but when I got done with the steps, though, they were clean.
yes, clean.
But I got in so much trouble
Ain't
for
no
that.
bugs coming up those steps.
That's right. I got in so much trouble for that, though. That was crazy. But they didn't really know what I put in there. But it's what is that steaming for?
Yes,
But I was going to ask you a question, Charles. I had a
sure.
thought come to mind. Um, they're relaxing all the mask mandates and the different mandates that they have for some of the states are anyway. Most of the states, I think. But
Okay.
I think Minnesota is one of them. But they said it would be no mask or mask mandate will be relaxed March 7th or something like that. I'm saying, oh my gosh, I got 3 weeks to go before we get to take the mask off.
Okay.
Um, I don't agree with the mask idea. I never thought that it had any good you know thing to deal with as far as keeping us safe and healthy. I never thought of that, But
Okay.
as far as a common sense and a physical aspect of, I'm helping you feel better if I wear a mask, or not necessarily myself, but I'm helping someone else feel better. So it's a human side of compassion type of thing. But anyway, what I want to ask you is this:
Okay.
now that Omicron kind of burned out real quick, they kind of didn't quite plan that as well as the first wave, and then the Delta wave, and then the Omicron,
Hmm.
and here we are. Now what do we do? We got nothing lined up. What do you think is their next plot to get us all worked up
Oh my
over
God.
everything?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe the maybe.
I mean, that's just a thought, not
No.
to make you tumble on the
I,
show. It's just a,
their 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 ability to well, I won't even mention the obvious one, which would be having to do with the availability of natural gas in
yeah,
Western Europe or Eastern
yeah.
Europe. Okay,
Hmm.
that would be a That would be a problem. It could be something that would start in the Ukraine. That would be a distraction. That would be an equivalent. But I don't, as much as I would like to think that this vaccine, this entire um, what's the word? I plan the pandemic
Hmm.
is over. I I as with as any sane person does, we hope this is over.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, um, I'm not going to have a hell of a have a party right
Right.
yet. You know, I'll wait
Right.
another. I'll wait till August maybe before I consider it gone. Put the rest. I'd like.
Well, now you're going to Pine Bush in June, right?
I hope so.
Okay. All right. That's our plan.
Uh,
All right.
yeah, you know. Um, so inflation. Yeah, inflation. I look at if you want to talk about economics, look at what's happening to cryptocurrencies right now. They're all over the place, just going
Hmm.
wild, up and down, and uh, same thing. Same thing with selective uh, economic uh, avenues in the stock market.
Hmm.
What was it? Facebook lost $20 billion the other day. Just oh,
Wow.
it's easy come, easy go. Um, see, those things are going to and oh, I I wish I were an economist that understood this stuff. I'm not. I have, but I read a few very good economists, and I qualify them as being good by how accurate their forecasts are,
Hmm.
and not their short-term forecasts, their long-term forecasts. Um, I think the whole economy is due for a shakeout again. You know, I don't want it to be another crash scenario, much like happened in 2008 or 2007 when it started.
Right.
Um, like that real estate. There's still a lot of speculative markets in retail real estate. The automotive segment is going to be going through a total tsunami. Yeah, I do not have the scoop on orange. I don't even have the scoop on ice cream futures. I think people who play games, and that's what it is, gamesmanship, with the stock market, it's the equivalent of roulette. Okay, the only one that wins is the house.
Oh yeah.
The house controls all the has all the cards.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to play, just remember it. The house always wins.
Yep.
Sometimes you win. Sometimes you walk out with money in your pocket. Sometimes you don't. But the house always gets their cut. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and if you remember that, then you'll be a good gambler, and it'll all make sense. But if you forget that, then you're gonna lose your house, your car, everything you own.
Well,
So,
see, that is if you go all the way back as far as economics are concerned, if you go back to Adam Smith, that is the basis of the capitalist system, is that the system must be fair. It has to be a level playing field. If one chosen group or person or industry or whatever, if the government and the banks can pick favorites, then we all lose, because there's no reason to innovate.
mm-hmm.
If you have a guaranteed money machine that just cranks over and cranks over and cranks over, yes, it's good if you're the guy that owns the money machine.
Right.
But everyone else loses. And that cuts away. I think that's a problem with what we have now. If I go to a bank, like I could go to a bank, but if I go to a bank and to take a personal loan, okay, I'm probably going to pay the highest interest rate available. Okay, the highest interest rate that's legal. But someone else in the proper person in the proper class who goes in and they can get that loan practically free. And that is that there's no way that that's a fair or reasonable, even reasonably close to fair arrangement. You know,
Right.
You get a situation where great lumps of money corrupt the system.
Right. So I think what should happen is that you should have the same interest rate as anyone else. Not me, because I'm too close.
If I were, yes, it should be,
But you could protect it as in this way, for instance, when your end comes, and if you still owe part of the loan, then that loan automatically gets paid off. There's insurance on that loan, so it automatically gets paid at that time. Okay, so they don't lose any money on the payment. You know what I mean? So that way you can retain your low interest rate loan, okay, on a personal loan, compared to what you're talking about, where they want to charge a high interest and you can never get that loan because you never have it paid off at the end.
Well, that used to be called usury, and it used to be illegal.
Yeah.
That used to be the kind of wording that related to the interest rates given by mobsters.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's what you got,
Yep. But hopefully, you won't need a loan like that.
God, I hope not.
And hopefully everything will be just fine.
Yeah, Anyway,
But now, would I be
geez,
interested in doing? I'd be interested in getting out of this cold weather, getting out of the snow country.
oh,
What I'm looking,
I'm yeah.
yeah,
Did you
what I'm
find
looking at,
your mystery noise?
I did not. But what I think it could be, it might have something to do with the ventilation system with the air ducts, with the air con. Well, I don't use air conditioning now, but with the
Hmm.
heating system, and so that's what I've read about that possibly is causing the rumbling sound.
Your
It's
your I was thinking about that
yeah,
with the snow and the cold that you've had.
yeah.
Have you looked outside at your chimney? Chimney might be blocked, causing like a whistle.
Oh, I can't get up there and fix it.
No, no, no. If you could, if it has snow covered and overhanging, that's the kind of thing that would
Oh, okay.
give you a
That's what it could be.
hum or a rumble.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's what that big crash was that one day that Mike thought I fell over in a chair down here, and it was
Oh,
actually like ice melting and
oh
falling.
yes, yes. Ice can cause ice can do all kinds of funny things.
Okay,
Yep.
and then that would make sense because that actually makes sense. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's. I mean, it's not really. It's just kind of irritating that I keep hearing it. It sounds like somebody's loud music outside or something. And it's not anybody out there.
Poor, poor cold Minnesota squirrels. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
that's
It's
how they're
squirrel.
surviving. I was
It's
wondering how they
squirrel.
survive.
Hey, I told you there were going to be repercussions when you evicted them from the shed.
And when I cut down their tree too,
That's and oh, yeah, yeah,
and they're gonna get more cut down too when it's
yes.
warmer weather.
Little
Uh
yeah,
oh,
squirrel.
is that
So
Max?
that's Max. I I can't hear his. I can't tell who he is. Sometimes I can tell who it is. I
Yeah.
think that was more of his. Somebody's walking down the streets.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's not.
Okay.
That's not. That's not. My friends are coming to visit.
So what I'm looking for is I do want to move to Arizona. Now I know it gets hot in the summertime, but you know what? I wouldn't have the snow ever where I'm talking about moving to. Okay, now I want to move to a place where it is not involved with the homeowners association of any kind. I want my own personal private land.
You
Okay?
want to be out in the boonies, eh?
Yeah, I want to be in the desert. I don't care about snakes. I don't care about scorpions. I don't care about monsters. I don't care about the weird stuff. What I care about is having at least 5 acres of land. Why 5 acres of land? Well, right now I have the problem with porch lights and back porch lights and spotlights shining into my
Oh,
house. And I'm
oh,
in town. I'm in the dark sky area, and I got these idiots here that moved from the city
mm,
that they want to sit there and turn on their lights because they're afraid of the dark. And it's like, if you're afraid of the dark, then move back to the city, you dumbass. You know.
you know
Uh,
that,
and so
that reminds
why
me of a
infringe upon
story.
my personal enjoyment of a dark sky and dark city? When you come out here and have your light shining into my house. And it's across town. So my idea is a 5 acre land. I put the house right in the middle of the land, and there would not be anybody near me for a mile on either side of the house. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
5 acres isn't going to get you a mile of clearance.
it'll be pretty close. What would I need?
uh, 5 acres is probably like 200 yards square. So
Okay.
anyway,
And
I,
what I would want is a river or stream running through it, obviously, so that I can do some prospecting, right?
yeah, I knew you were going to get to that at some point or the other.
Yeah, and I did see a couple of properties that were like that, and that were 5 acres too, and under 100,000.
Uh-huh.
Now the only thing is I'd have to build my house. If I wanted to build my own house, then I wouldn't have to worry about someone's old
Just
house that's there.
just start digging, Ron.
Right. And build my house that way, right?
There you go.
Uh,
Cool, warm in the winter, cool in the summer.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But there is an
What?
LDMA camp, which is Lost Depthman's Mining Association uh, prospecting claim down there, which is close to where I'm talking about being. And what I want is I want the warm winters. I'm tired of the snow and this cold. Just personal, speaking. Now it's a longer drive to New York from there, but that's okay. We can manage that. Sacrifice I got to make to have a warm winter, right? So, but yeah, there's a lot of people that we know that live in
You know,
Arizona. So,
I guess I can put that on my bucket list to see Arizona.
yeah,
It's let's see, Arizona, New Mexico. I'll give up on Alaska and Hawaii.
I've been to all of
But
them. So,
those are the only, those are the last two I don't think I've ever been. I think
and
I've been
and,
to
and
all the rest.
I've been to every lower 48 states. I've been to Alaska. Of
Hmm.
course, I've been to Hawaii. Now, both Hawaii and Alaska Navy, courtesy U.S. Navy, but still, I was there. Arizona, I've been there just basically passing through. I've lived in California, lived in North Carolina, lived in Minnesota. I've lived in Wisconsin. I've lived in Florida as well, so I've lived in quite a few of the states. I've been in
Hmm.
all 50 states at some point or another. So I have gone to every one of the states in the United States, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. And many people don't get out of their yard, out of their backyard. So yeah, Utah is my.
I will agree with I will agree. I find Utah very appealing.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then my brother lives in Idaho, and I don't
But
know if
that's going to
somebody.
be just as cold as where you are now.
Yeah, well, that's why I want to go to Arizona, where it's going to be cool in the wintertime, but not snow. Okay. And
Hmm.
like what Mark is doing with the telescope, it's a clear night sky. You don't have the porch lights in the way, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So and that's what I could use too once I set up my
Ufi
telescope.
has the perfect place for an observatory for you.
Yeah, well, I
Rent
have my bench.
a slightly used asteroid.
Yeah, I have my $2,300 telescope that I don't get to use here because it's too cold. You know, and in
Well,
the wintertime I can't be
plus
standing out.
your online fees, you'll have to negotiate with CT to get those.
Yeah, that's right. We will. Yeah, I'm sure if I provide either a fancy new toaster or maybe some special bread,
plenty,
that might
yes,
work
there's
out.
plenty of bread.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh man, I was looking at some of the rocks that Mike gave me a little while back, a couple of years ago, and there's a rock that I seen. I might have to show that picture on some of these rocks, but there's one. It has the looks like volcanic action in the rock itself. It's a
Mhm.
red color rock, but it has like glass, almost like glass or formica maybe.
Mhm.
But it's shiny black or black and silver, silvery color.
Crust, like crusted.
It's it looks like a volcanic type rock, but it's not. If you know what I
Are
mean.
you suggesting it might be meteorite?
Um, the black part looks like it could be. Yeah, and
Have you checked it with a magnet?
no, not yet.
I would
I
do that.
could. I could. I have.
That would not be a conclusive test,
Yeah.
but I'd check it. I'd check it. I definitely check that.
But if you had me wondering about those rocks that I have to look at my bucket still. I have some that I can polish and grind out. Get nice.
Carbonaceous chondrites, meteorites are really, really valuable.
Oh yeah. Okay.
like up there with gold.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that. Well, see, I like that, and that's what I would have on my property as well in that area that I'm talking about. You know, and so I'd have plenty of fun stuff like that. I would probably have to put up a fence just to keep idiots out. Because
Yeah.
they wouldn't know where the property line was without a fence. You know.
Yep.
But besides that, I think it'd be really quiet and really peaceful. You know. And I wouldn't have any neighbors right next to me with the shining lights in the window. I
Hmm.
might have some other lights, some visitors from space and things. Uh, yep, you got it.
Mm.
It would be dirt
Yeah.
and maybe some trees. There might be some
Hmm.
trees there. I have seen some
Well,
nice
it
properties.
depends. There's, you know,
Well, some of the
some
properties
variety.
I was
There's
looking
some
at.
variety, but it's all pretty much dry.
Oh yeah,
Right.
but that's why
Um,
I want that river running through the
I
entrance.
know this. This is kind of the take off of that. When I was a kid, a bunch of us found this rock.
Mhm.
It was very heavy, and it was about the size of a football. Okay,
Yeah, keep talking. I'll get that rock that I'm talking about and see if we can look
it
at it.
was okay, and we kind of finished digging this out of the dirt by a near a cliff face. And I mean, it wasn't a rock from there. It was definitely something different. Okay, and I keep going back and saying, I remember we took it down off the mountain and took it home, and they said, well, that's just an old clinker from furnace. And I keep thinking, Dad, what? You know, and I've looked at, thought about that, and thought about that. I know what a clinker looks like. Okay, I knew what it feels like. A clinker is basically, waste in an ash, and but I have no idea what we did with that from that point, and I wonder if it's still there somewhere. You know, because if it was a meteorite, and my memory tells me that it that I would identify that now as a very likely meteorite, that would be worth a lot of money, several thousand, not a lot of money, certainly several $1,000s. And it was just one of those things, We just found it eroding out of the hillside, and who knows? It could have been there. I would say, since it was rusty looking and iron, it would probably have been relatively recent. Okay, because although they form, they'll eventually disappear. But we're talking over tens of thousands of years. So I just there would be no way to find that kind of thing. Yes, the same, absolutely the same. Said the same. How would a clinker get on the side of that mountain, buried under, on the, just down from a cliff? It doesn't make any sense. But then hardly anything about it does. It was more of a situation where it had been under the soil fairly deep at that point, and then had been eroded out over the centuries. You know, so always that I always thought that would be fun. That would be an adventure to hear of that being found. Be nice. So what you got there, Ron? I see your back. Are you looking for a magnet? And Ron can't hear me. Okay. Oh, I remember quite accurately where I found it.
Okay, I found it. I think, but I don't see
Yeah.
the
The
color.
biggest thing is I don't remember what we. I remember to a degree that it may be a damn doorstop somewhere.
Mhm.
You know, that has been reported before. People, oh, that was a funny looking rock. We just been using it for a doorstop.
Right, I had a heavy one like that once.
Mm-hmm. Now I can't hear. Okay, now roll it back. Let me see the other side. Dang.
That looks like volcanic to me. I don't know.
Needs to happen. Somebody get a focus on that. It does not look particularly sedimentary to me. I am not familiar. Where'd you find it?
This was one that Mike had from Arizona. Now it does
Okay.
seem to have a little attraction to the magnet, not much, but it does seem to want to
Oh, really?
pull
Okay.
on the magnet just a little bit. That could be the iron in it, maybe.
Yes.
But I think there's another rock in there that I have to. There's another rock in there that I have to look for that I had a better example of it. But let me go get that. Hold on. Keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, that I. But going back to my mysterious football-sized rock, yeah, as a human artifact, it really didn't make much sense because okay, if it were furnace waste some sort, why would someone move one piece of waste half a mile up a mountain?
Another fine use for a laptop bag.
There you go. At some point, the bags are always worth more than the laptop.
Yeah. Okay, now. I didn't think about testing the magnets. Huh. All right, now there's lots of quartz in here. This I think is limestone, though.
Okay.
That's white. Looks like limestone.
Mm-hmm. With quartz.
No.
Is it quartz mixed in with the limestone?
Possibly. Look at this one here.
Okay.
That's white quartz. All right.
Yes.
Not refined. It's just white quartz. Nothing fancy on it. Okay, now I don't know where that one is that I was looking at. Oh, here. Hold on. I got it. Take a look at this. This looks like glass inside the rock. Kind of hard to get that to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when you look at it with the light, it sure looks like glass.
Sparklies? Got sparkly
Yeah.
bits? That's always good.
I don't know, but well, it could be formica, but it looks like gold too. Mm-hmm. But it also looks like glass.
That stuff, iron. Iron. Oh heck, they call it fool's
Mica
gold.
Titan. Mica
Fool's
Titan.
gold. What's fool's gold? Fool's gold.
Yeah, that's um not Formica. What is it?
It's iron something or other. I can't remember. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't
Figure
remember
out
either.
that stuff.
I know. I don't want it, but it looks cool though.
Pyrite. Thank you.
Pyrite. There you
Thank
go.
you, Yuffie.
And let me try to get a picture of it here. Let me see.
Yuffie will get you an estimate from Sparkly Rock Corporation.
All right, there you go.
You just got to send the small rubbing and high definition photos, and CT will
Good luck on that one.
assay your find for small charge.
For a small charge. Well, thank you.
Yes, Ron. We have exciting information about your find. Please send.
Okay, for some reason I can't get it to sparkle on the camera.
It's
But I did see it sparkle within the natural light, though, which I'm looking at it sparkle now, but I don't see it sparkling.
You need to watch it. You can't have dirty rocks around, you know. You gotta scrub them down once in a while.
Right. Well, Oofy, you could come and take a visit here in the cold weather, and we'll put you to work on rock crushing. I'll give you free food and a warm place to sleep. That's about it. Anyway, I can't get that, but now I can see it all without the light. Let's see if that shows up without the light. Oh wait,
I got it. Oh, nice.
There's a little sparkly one.
Got some nice crystals in there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's a nice little piece there. So that's just one of them that I have. I know I got a couple others that are pretty nice.
So that's your future.
Oh yeah.
That's your hoped for future. You know, I think we all have a collective hoped for future. You know, there's so many things that are going on now that, especially after the past 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the fact that, you know, we may be in the top of the food chain, but we're still in the food chain.
Yeah.
The microbes and the viruses and whatever, you know, it's part of a dynamic ecology.
Now talking about ghosts, look at this one. The two eyes and the nose.
No.
that looks like a ghost, doesn't it?
I said, okay, I see that. I said, don't right. That's a penguin. That looks like a penguin to me.
But yeah, this has quartz. This has quartz on both sides running through it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. Let me see here. Here's another one. It has kind of a reddish color, and quartz.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to drop it on the keyboard. That would destroy the keyboard. Oh, that'd be next thing to go, right? Oh, now here's this looks like a piece of cement, to be honest with you. But it's actually a rock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. And this one here, this one here is a mixture of a couple of different rocks, but quartz is a big part of it. So, there you go. Not all of them are sparkly, but they're sure cool to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at this, two different types. What you want to look at this is what might be the time frame that took place. They're two different types. They're molded together basically. I don't know if that's limestone or what, granite maybe,
I would think I would think that would be my guess. I think
and then quartz
the
on top.
limestone over an igneous formation,
Oh yeah, there you go.
base,
Yeah,
basalt.
good point. Okay, well, that's all I got for you guys. And there's a
Well,
couple of rocks in here, but the camera ain't working right. I will have to take some good pictures of some of this stuff.
there you go.
Okay, we did we look at that one already?
Yeah, that's what. Do you have a fossilized Bigfoot tooth, or better yet, an unfossilized Bigfoot tooth?
No.
That would be nice.
Now here's one that I could do in the tumbler if I get a tumbler. This is black and white. The white would be quartz, I'm guessing.
Uh-huh.
Black, I'm not sure what that is, but if I tumbled that around and polished it up, imagine how shiny and nice that would look.
Mm-hmm.
It's already kind of nice and round for the most part. So that's pretty cool. The others we can just break up with the hammer and see what we find in them. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I have some others I gotta take a look at too that have other stuff in them. Who knows what they are? Here's an interesting one. It has some sparkly stuff on it if you looked at it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, that's about it. So, now that I took up all your time, we looked at that. Oh, look at this one last one here. There's a couple of pieces of quartz. Look at those big pieces of quartz. Pretty big. And then here's the other side to that.
Interesting.
And then here's that's weird, huh? All right, well now we have some fun.
Fossilized maple syrup in a matrix of old toast.
There you go. That looks like a fine collection.
There you go.
And but yeah, I think sometimes when I'm out prospecting, I don't really find some gold.
Well,
I find all of.
I do remember when the Hudson, you were looking very, very. You were quite ready to be set ashore.
Yeah.
Start doing some rock hounding.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
goodness knows there's been enough rock pushed through that gorge by the glaciers for thousands of years. You would think that there would be a few flakes of gold laying on the bottom somewhere.
Yeah, bad part about it is that you can't tell New York that you got the gold because you want to take 70% of your value of the gold for taxes.
Sparkly rocks.
Not everyone is that.
Sparkly rocks of no cash value. These are just,
that's right.
These are just memorabilia.
That's right.
Yes.
And remember, if you're ever caught looking on the land for whether it be ghost hunting or gold hunting or whatever you're doing, you just tell somebody you dropped your keys. You're looking for your keys.
And what the hell were you doing here with your keys, boy? I thought try that. It doesn't work very well. It doesn't work very well in some areas.
Yeah, there's that one little island here that's right in the middle of or actually it's on the other side. Actually, it is in the middle of the river, Des Moines River. That I go when I go to Wyndham, and there's an island there that has been under the water, and I'm thinking possibly there would be gold there because I don't think anyone's ever been out there to look, you know. And so, and since the gold did flow down some of these rivers here, it would be on top of that island. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that'd be a possibility.
Well, yeah. We were under
And
You were well under 2 miles of ice there.
yeah, but then
Uh,
trying to get across there
10,000 years ago.
when the river is not frozen is pretty challenging
Hmm.
because you got to go through someone's private property, and they might not like that.
Okay.
So, but now it's too cold to dig because the ground is frozen. So, but just a thought, I wonder, if it's not on top of the island, it would be on the trailing
You
edge.
need to take up fishing, Ron.
Yeah, there you go. It'd be on the trailing edge of the island. Okay, and that's one thing you guys want to pay attention to. If you're looking at a river and you see like the inside bend of the river, and when you're watching it go down flow,
Hmm.
uh, not upstream but downstream, and you look at the inside bend of the river, where do you think gold would be? If there's gold in that river, what do you think it would be?
I think it's on the in the shallow water on the inside of the bend,
Yeah,
the
good,
knee
good
inside of the
point.
knee. Yeah.
Now, depending on how that river,
Well, I would think that way because the outside is usually a cut bank.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's where the river is eroding the higher ground away.
Now you also got to remember when the rivers first were formed. Believe it or not, they were actually straight. Okay, when man came along and started building towns, around the river and things
Oh,
like
I
that,
wouldn't say that.
that changed the flow of the river. No, it changed the flow
Oh,
of the river.
the rivers move. The rivers move all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
But some of the places that are land today were definitely part of the river back then. So, which means
Oh,
that there would be
guaranteed.
gold. There
Guaranteed.
would be gold in the.
Look at San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay, the entire South Bay area is mud flats,
Yeah.
basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
And those bottom lands have always been highly valued because that was where the best soils were,
Oh yeah.
and it's close to water. So for anything agricultural, yes.
Now I
Anything
want to show you
agricultural, that's where you want to be.
I wanted to show you and the audience the app that they were talking about last night on Entity Voices. You know
Ah, I
that
missed that
that,
one. I went to bed
that
early.
guy was there. I'll pull mine up and I'll show you what it is. It'll sound kind of weird, so don't let that bother
Was it?
you. All right, so it's this one.
Okay.
Okay, it's free.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's free on
Sound of the
Google Play.
dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
free on Google Play. But you start it up, and it's just a sound bank of random noises, but it does sometimes bring up some words that I can't figure out where they're coming from. But what's in it?
Hmm.
I usually set it. I don't like the echo, but I do set it to reverb. And you hear that?
Oh, what you need to do is put it in a microwave.
No, I don't think so.
Don't turn it on. Just put it in a microwave and see if it still works.
Oh no.
That will at least reduce the possibility. See what kind of frequency it's running on.
Yeah.
You're probably listening to your neighbor's cell phone.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, but if you want that and you want to check that out, it's free. You can get it on Google Play. I had it on my other phone. I don't know why I didn't get it transferred over to this phone when I got it. But anyway, I'm glad it still
You're
works.
probably using a classified NSA frequency.
There you go. That's it. But yeah, check that out. Necrophonic.
Necrophonic NSA. Necrophonic. So,
Yeah.
it's probably in there somewhere. I'm sure they'll claim it.
Oh yeah. But it's from a company called ITC, and it is free right now. So I'd get it.
Oh.
Most of them are not free. Another one that I use is this one here, and it's kind of freaky. It's this one here.
Okay.
And what will happen when it gets some information, a word will flash across there. Whoever
Uh-huh.
says the word, it'll turn orange and red, and the beeping is proximity alarm that tells you that someone's going to say something. Now, who it is or where it's from, I have no clue. But if you see the color changing,
Mm-hmm.
it's changing to orange and it'll be red. Basically, it just means if they're close or what. And then you'll see,
You need to work a deal with your house spirits there. You know,
yeah, yeah,
get them work on demand. What do they want? I guess
exactly.
it's the negotiations that are very important. You know.
But yeah, that's hard to see that with that glare.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's getting excited.
there you go. Yeah, see,
Yeah. See?
there you go.
Yeah, they're negotiating. They're negotiating for the price, Ron.
It says over. Oh, they're done now. They're over. They're done. All right. So anyway, that's some fun stuff there. And this is just
I
ghost
think they're. I think
hunting.
they're. I think they're saying remove those. Take those curtains off the mirrors, and we'll think about
I don't think
over.
so. I don't think so. Um, no, I'm gonna leave them there. But we'll be fine. That'll be good. But yes, that's interesting, and then it'll go through probably about a few words, and then I'll turn it off because it'll get kind of weird. So, but there you have it. That's fun stuff that I
So, do you
have.
have anything else coming up tonight, Ron?
I don't have anything planned that I know of.
Okay.
I don't know if Kevin's gonna do anything.
Oh, I don't either.
I haven't heard any announcement about it. Anyone else know? My station, but everyone kind of does their
Yeah.
own thing. But yeah. So I don't think Kevin had said anything about doing a show. So
Oofy going to drop us a playlist?
oh okay, yes you can. I'll play some music or anyone else
Okay.
can if anyone wants
I'm
to.
just about done. I've got to go see if I can find some nutrition.
All right,
Where,
I'll give you a couple rocks. You need some rocks.
maybe later. Yeah. Bring them with you. Bring them with you in June.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you remember what date that is that Bill said?
Oh,
Was it the
no,
first
not
weekend
really.
or
June 3rd?
that'd be the first weekend?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's February. On
And hopefully we'll be all cleared on this damn
June
incident
4th.
thing.
So
Okay,
it'll be
good.
June 4th.
Okay. That's Saturday and Sunday, June 4th and 5th, right? Or
Yes. The 4th
okay.
is Sunday, the 5th, or the 4th is Saturday, the 5th is Sunday.
Okay.
So
Good.
the actual, yeah.
So what we plan on doing is like we do every year is I plan on being there for a week because that just makes sense when it takes 30 hours to drive there, 25 hours, whatever. And
Which would put traveling back into the end of around the 30th of May, which is
yeah.
that's the that's the Memorial that's the Memorial Day weekend.
That's okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can go after that, the next day after that, like on June 2nd. So
Well, I think
if
Bill's
I
going to
got
have some sort of really nice itinerary. There's a bunch of places that they've been
oh okay,
exploring.
we had fun last time. Yeah, we had fun last time. We
Going to
went
be looking at.
yeah, we went to the park and then we went to go visit Mark's house. That was fun. Yeah. We had a lot of fun.
Okay.
Mark has a lot of cool stuff that he works on with his modeling stuff, with his FX models.
Yes.
He has some printers, some big printers that are there and engravers and different things that he has there that he uses for his stuff, you know.
Oofy says you can run a different kind of poverty.
Hmm.
It's a 2-hour program.
Oh yeah.
That would be a good one. It's a rerun. See there, I told you I
Different
got.
kind of poverty.
I'm about done. My mouth's getting tired.
Yeah, I played that one. Didn't someone play that? Was it me that played that last time, or was it Andy? I don't remember.
Well, it would be nice.
All
It would
right.
be. Well, Guy, I don't mean to be abrupt, but we've gone. Cheapers.
Oh, a little bit over an hour.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
How
long?
Yeah.
Oh, an hour and 30.
Hour
Oh,
and a half.
wow. Oh,
Hour and
holy
a half.
cow. We're
Almost.
stretching it. We're stretching it tonight.
Thanks for sticking with me. I think
Oh,
we
yeah.
got
No
it done.
All right.
Just remember, the future is what you make it.
Yeah, and when you start up next time to do the stream and you add me to it, or anyone you add to it, make sure that
I
you.
would like also to thank everybody that stopped in on my birthday and wished me a happy birthday.
Oh yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Yeah,
makes my day.
I did play the Beatles birthday song for you, although I thought it was yesterday, but then it was today. So that's okay. Either way, it works out fine. But that's fine. And we'll be back, or Charles will be back next week, and hopefully Maria will be with us next week. And we'll just keep on rolling. And Friday for IT, Jesse has a personal guest that he's going to bring on for the show.
Excellent.
So he has a lot of people that he's interviewed on his podcast, and he said if I ever needed a guest, I could ask him, and he would definitely find one for us. so we got a long list of guests to run through if we run out of guest ideas. So there you go.
There you go.
On the 28th, we are planning on talking with M.T. Stevens, though. She has a PhD in something, I don't know what exactly. But anyway, she studies the UFO stuff, ufology stuff. And she has a PhD. I'm not sure what. I have to look at that. And it was recommended by Philip Mantle. And Jesse had actually already interviewed her about a week or so ago, I think. So he'll get to interview her again on the end of the month. So it's kind of like an extra helping, basically.
Good to hear.
Yeah, so that's what I like doing with that. So anyway, thank you for having the show tonight, Charles.
Glad to be here.
And always willing to help out. Yep, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Take care, guys.
All right,
good night.
Bye-bye.